Transient Horizons, and I actually really loved hearing Cassandra talk about her work, which conjured up in my mind some a sort of interpretation of some of the imagery there as being biological in nature, which also is a part of what interests me. I'm interested in kind of patterns that are both out in a macro scale, out in the world, in the landscape, or just in the earth, as well as kind of those similar patterns we have like fractals being found in the veins of our body, resembling sort of rivers that flow in the landscape. So just kind of playing with this kind of relationship of our bodies and our lives to the spaces that we traverse. So Transient Horizons, the title, is inspired by the fact that there are a few dichotomies that I'm fascinated with. One is time, whereas we tend to think of time as being something that's kind of ever-present, steady, at the same time, so it seems like it's fixed, but at the same time it's transient. And to me, landscapes as well, we think of mountains, for example, as being something that's stable, not moving, something monumental. We go to the mountains, we gaze at them with a sense of awe. The truth is the mountains are ever growing, they're constantly changing, and they're a result of these violent acts, if you will, done by the earth itself as an artist over billions of years. So that fascinates me as well. So certainly, when I think of nature, I don't think of sitting next to a brook and listening to the pleasant sound. I actually think of these grand gestures of the earth as an artist itself. So there's 7 panels here, and on the interior the panels are more presentational, if you will, where you can make out some landscapes and mountain formations, but as you move towards the outer panels, it becomes more an abstraction taken from some of the gestures and movements and motions that you can find on the inside. This is done intentionally to just sort of suggest a sense of movement, change, and the passage of time, so that as also you move through it and around it, it continues to be transient and change with you, and certainly become a part of the work. I also intentionally love playing with, or working rather, with this material, because one of the things about it is either it's just cellophane, or it can do something magical. And I really enjoy just being in my studio and becoming an observer to the material at a certain point where I get to see it do something that feels like it's outside of myself, and it feels like, yes, that moment, that magic happened. It is no longer just something. So this feeds me, this pushes me towards the work that comes after this piece, that I've been kind of on a roll, and it's a challenge, but I enjoy the nature of the material that way. Oh, it's also a bit reflective, so you can see yourself in it, and that appeals to me as well as sort of creating a moment of self-confrontation in the here and now, because all of my work, going back years, is always about the things that are common to all of humanity, the things that we share in common, and just that awareness of the self in the moment, being present, being alive, as well as the earth as our home, to me is one of those things that we just can't deny, despite divisions and things that we deem important while on this earth. We do share humanity as an experience rather than just as a group. I'm not interested in Transient Horizons and talking about changing landscape in any sort of political sense. I'm more interested in the way that people and spaces influence each other, and this comes from my cultural geography background, sociology background, and bringing that together with my love of installation art and my love of sculpting space and how our bodies interact with that space. All right, I think that's enough. Thank you.